What do we have here?
This is a great smoke.
I'm just gonna put this.
And it's really hard to actually know because I'm not really a smoker. But from what others have told me who smoke cigarettes is that it's difficult for them to stop because of the stresses that they have in their life. And so they need something to like help them throughout their day or cope. And so that would be a problem that they face that I could identify is making the commitment to not smoke cigarettes. I mean, to quit smoking cigarettes.
A lot of people that smoke cigarettes are very much aware of the health effects and as well as financial, because cigarettes are very expensive. But I think if people had a little more self-esteem and a little more self-control, it'd be easier to quit smoking. Just like people like myself, I have a food addiction. If I was more in control of that, it'd be easier for me to make the healthier choices. Quitting tobacco products or even cutting back, it's a hard choice. But when you have moral support and people that can give you good information, and when you're more aware, like I say, if you knew better, you do better. But
I started smoking when I first went on a trip to Spain. I was doing a study abroad program, and I went from a non-smoker to once in a while smoker to a social smoker to a daily smoker to about a half pack a day. And certainly thought that I was invincible and that the tobacco may get someone else but wouldn't get me. And after many years of smoking, unfortunately, I got to a point where I had tried to stop a couple of times without much luck. I think they say it's easy to stop smoking. I've done it a lot, right? However, I think on one occasion I got kind of sick. I had the flu, the fever, the body aches, and I stopped smoking while I was sick. And I said to myself, well, I haven't smoked in 4 days here being sick. Why don't I just do one more day without smoking? And so I did, one more day without smoking. And so then one day turned into 2 days, and then 3. And I said to myself, boy, I'm almost about a week without a cigarette. And I thought, I'm not gonna. So I kind of almost became a bit of ego. Because if I told people I've been a month with only one cigarette, was not as powerful to me as saying I haven't smoked a cigarette in a month. And that month just turned into 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year, and finally 2 years, 10 years, and here I am now, 13 years or 12 years without a cigarette. So I think it was a bit of knowledge, a bit of determination, I think a bit of ego that kind of helped me also to stop.
I would tell my family and friends to urge them to quit cold turkey. We have to find a different thing to do, a different hobby to get your mind off of the addiction of nicotine. I feel like if we did less smoking, you can do more exercising. You can do something that will keep your mind off of trying to pick up the pack of cigarettes or going to the store. You could be doing something different because it's killing you. And when you kill yourself, you're leaving us, the children or the grandchildren behind to continue our legacy, but you're still the head point of it and we're not having you no more. And over cigarettes, really, you don't need those. You don't need to smoke them. So I feel like I will urge them to please stop immediately and find different hobbies or different things to use. A lot of people say that they smoke a cigarette to stress relief, so find different stress relievers besides nicotine and tobacco, because it's not going to help you, it's killing you.
My story is this. Growing up, both of my parents smoked. My parents did quit smoking, they went cold turkey. And this is way back in the 1970s. That they went cold turkey, because back in those days there was no hypnosis, there were no patches, there was no acupuncture. They just took it on themselves that we need to stop smoking for our health. And I'm so glad that they did, because for them to quit smoking, it helped them live a healthier life.
You got to think first about your health. I understand people go through things, but you don't want to use tobacco or marijuana as a crutch or a way out. That's actually a way in to enhancing the early death or health problems. So I wouldn't recommend to use tobacco, marijuana usage just to use as a way out, a way to go. And being a victim and coming out of it and going through it, I look at people differently who use tobacco, marijuana, or drugs. You know, I understand them now. At first I didn't, because I wasn't a user. I'm still not a user. But being a victim, I clearly can see that tobacco usage and mishandling, and abusing marijuana is very bad and destructive.
People should definitely find an alternative method to calm themselves or find some relief for stress. I believe cigarettes is probably one of the most unhealthiest things you can do to relieve stress. There's a lot of holistic methods that I would recommend, such as meditation, a better diet, breathing techniques. There's a lot of alternatives. So I believe smoking is probably the worst option that people have.
I'm not here to decide for you, but you have to decide for yourself, because I'm not going to tell you to quit, but you have to know what is right on campus, because a lot of kids, people bring in their children on campus too. So if it's smoking, like secondhand smoke, it'll probably infect them. So that's what happened.
Okay, I would support the cause and the move to make Merritt College a smoke-free campus, and I would also like to offer classes and make sure there's an alternative smoking for these people who have difficulty quitting, because I know that's a very challenging problem to quit. It's so addictive, and so we need to help these people at the same time as making it a smoke-free campus, because I don't think other people should suffer with the secondhand smoke. And especially, there's a lot of people, my wife, for example, has asthma, and when she just walks by it, she has an attack triggered by secondhand smoke even. So I know it's a serious problem for a lot of people.
Correct. So I am currently right now the ASMC president, which means Associated Students of Merritt College, and I 100% support our campus to become smoke-free, because that's what we want here, to see everybody happy and make of this world a better place. Thank you.
So this is the Great American Smokeout, huh? You can see plenty of tobacco cessation resources provided by the Tobacconist Club, led by President Marlene Hurd. And what is your name, sir?
My name is Arion, and I'm a student here at Merritt College.
Nice to meet you, Ariane.
Nice to meet you.